There we go. Now we're recording. Woo! What do you mean, oh no? Who? What are you, an owl? Who? Ah, fair enough. Alright, sash is done. Use a little bit of copper for some of the one cult emblem hanging down between the guy's legs. Oh, where's my little... Nah, I need my copper, not my bronze. Where did my copper go? Ah, found it. Only a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little. There we are. no, buffering again. Stop it. Why do you do this? What have I done to wrong you, Twitch? Alright. Some bone coloring. There's my drake tooth. I mean, technically in lore they already exist, but outside of flavor text, I think that might be a little too much for the game itself. Like, if they add like Eldar heads and armor options or orc weaponry, some mutations along like squats or something, but not if they were making whole new models based off of it. As cool as that would be in game, I think that would make the faction, that would kind of help, it would lose some of its charm. Also, then they'd have to worry about brood brothers for other factions, which brood brothers are just Astra Militarum Genestealer cult. Ew, Tarkov, nasty, icky. I mean, you enjoy it if you like, but I will not be playing Tarkov. Like, ever. Alright, and now we will paint on some blood. Paint some blood onto the Aberrants. Onto their weapons and shit. Who doesn't love watching a fucking street sign covered in blood being swung around by a crazy mutated creature? Use some blood for the blood god with this. And splatter the head. And along the rear of it. Wish the camera focused better so you could see, but sadly I will have to get a better camera when the time comes and I have the money. If I ever end up starting to make money off of these streams, I've told myself that the first thing I'm going to get is a better camera with the money. And now for the street sign. Go a little more gore heavy on the street sign. Kinda, yeah, but I'm not too worried about it with my Gene Stealer cult, as the paint job I put on my models is a lot more reminiscent of hazmat suit than mining gear. So I'm not going to be too bent out of shape over it. I am a little annoyed though that GW's decided to give another faction the whole miners and industrial workers aesthetic. There really isn't much I can do about it. those dry. And then we will, once those are dry, we'll finish up their washes. But for now, let's go ahead and do some more work on the Patriarch. Oh, good heavens. My Patriarch is gonna take a slightly different color shift than the rest of my cult. He's still gonna keep with the rubbery green and yellow of hazmat suit, but I'm gonna reverse it a little bit and add in some little glowy radiation bits. Yes, I do have a Locust. He is the bodyguard of the cult, and he's got a special rule as well that pertains to melee. But at the beginning of the game, I choose one of my models, and he becomes that model's ward, or that model becomes his ward. And he gives "Look out, sir" to that model, regardless of its wound count, and then is treated as a bodyguard using the new slate rules, the new data slate rules. And then if he is in engagement range of an enemy model, and that enemy model is also in engagement range of his wards, if that enemy model is in engagement range of his ward, while the Locust is also in the engagement range, the opponent must fight into the Locust until the Locust is destroyed before he can target the other model. Which is honestly a pretty solid ability. It gives him melee bodyguard. Okay. Alright. Finishing up my white painting on the man. Where'd my white paint go? I always end up losing the white paint. There it is. And what's even better, he's only 50 points and is a reliable kill 1 or 2 Space Marines in melee. Now, he suffers the same setbacks and drawbacks as the rest of the Genestealer cult characters, as he is a glass cannon. He does not have great health, does not have great invulnerable save, and is tough 3 or tough 4, I don't remember off the top of my head. But he also is able to fight first, which isn't as good anymore because they kind of fucked up the fight first rules with the new data thing, the new rule slate that came out, where even if you have a charge ability, that just puts, or if you charge, that counts as a fight first ability, and then even if something does have fight first, that charge can still go first. It drops fight first abilities down in importance, and it's a pain in the butt. Real pain in the butt. What was I looking for? Paintbrush, that's right. How dare you distract me, heathen. Yes, you can bring up to 3, as he is not a named character, and there's no rules about limiting him to detachment, or per detachment, like there used to be for Kellermorphs. Now is you can take up to 3 of him per normal 3 units of the same model rule. Which also reminds me, there you can take a 36 Carnifex list and still be within the bounds of the can only bring 3 units of the same model, because you've got Carnifexes, you've got Screamer Killers, and you've got Thornbacks, Then you've got Old One Eye, and then you have the various Stonecrusher Brood morphs. So that'll be fun as hell once I manage to get that many card effects. Actually, I've been testing out a new Flying Hive Tyrant build recently, where I equipped the Flying Hive Tyrant with the Reaper of Obliterax relic. The Reaper of Obliterax Tyrannid relic is a replacement for a replacement for a Bone Sword or Monstrous Bone Sword, and it is a, let's see, I don't remember the extra damage and stats of it, but its abilities are every time you successfully wound your target, the wound also deals a mortal wound in addition to normal damage, which is already pretty strong. And then it can also ignore rules used to negate, lessen, or ignore damage. So feel no pains, decrease damage, incoming damage, can't be used. Which also means you can kill the Necron Satan Shards. Which is absolutely delightful. That's right, Warden. Once you get a Satan Shard, I've got the exact way to counter it. Because Satan Shards have the fun rule where they can only take 3 wounds per phase. No matter how much damage is dealt to them, they can only take 3 wounds in any given phase. This particular relic ignores that rule. But lucky for you, only like 3 factions in the game have something like that can ignore your bullshit wound mitigation. All right, leg time. For yourself. The Void Dragon Shard is an incredibly strong, both damage wise and like model in general wise. But as far as I know, it's one of the more expensive to bring on the tabletop and expensive to buy. Zack Games might have one, but I don't actually remember. But I've generally heard that the Shard of the Void Dragon is best used against vehicles. I don't know how true that actually is or not, but that's just what I've heard. Dang, I need literally 10 more followers before I can start getting affiliated for Twitch. But it's like, I don't know, 10 more people. I imagine the Omnisaya would be a lot of like burgundy with burgundy and yellow. Burgundy and like a bright, lightning, glowy yellow is what I've always imagined. I gotta say, I really enjoy the look of Tesseract Glow on non-Necron things. I've actually used it on a lot more things than I think I should have. From both Tyranids to my Genestealer cult as well. And it gives things a nice radioactive look. Like, I'm ridiculously proud of how my Toxicrene looks, as I used a lot of Tesseract Glow to armor highlight, and it gives it like that perfect darker contrast to the lighter armor around it, and makes it look like it's glowing from underneath. We're almost done with the white bits on the Patriarch here. And once we let those dry, while we let these dry, we're gonna move back over to the Aberrants and check on them. Actually, I'm going to have to go over some of the parts on the Patriarch that I overlapped by accident. I have to repaint some of that yellow in there. As we're going with a very bright Patriarch. Woohoo! The wash I put on him will give him a little bit of a gungy, oily look. But the Patriarch is going to be colorful. Colorful with the same colors as the rest of my cult. Gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of the way GW normally colors and draws the cult. I think they look too, like, rugged for what they're supposed to be. Because it's like, it's miners and civilians. I have not seen the new shade formulas in action. I didn't even know that was a thing. I knew there were new contrast paints, and I actually have a couple of them sitting in front of me because they're what my White Scars commission guy wanted me to buy, but I have not seen them. Are they worth all the hype, or meh? I guess there wasn't too much hype. Are they worth the ridiculously inflated prices GW has them set at? I'll ask that instead. I'm generally not very in the loop when it comes to GW stuff or GW like new releases. So if I can help it, I will not buy from GW. Alright, I believe that is all the white. Actually, I'll go over some of the brain bits on the Patriarch's head because there's still some yellow on there. Yeah, I don't use any of those anyway, so meh. Not something I care much about. I usually end up mixing my own washes anyway. Alright, neat. Let this wash off the brush a little bit while we take our time and tidy up some of the Broodlords, or the Patriarch, since we're G-Stealer code. Patriarch's untidy bits. I'm gonna need to get more of this paint soon because I'm almost out. But at the same time, as much as I like Tamiya paints, they're a lot more expensive than other stuff. They've also got a slightly annoying issue where if they remain open for too long, they get sticky and goopy and begin to streak really bad, but I think that might just be the type of paint it is. Yeah, it's already happening. God damn it. You're fine. You need a little bit. Alright. Yeah, but no, yeah, as soon as you said smaller bottles at the same price, I'm sitting here like, that's GW, alright. Alright. Oh my. That was quite a bit of dirty model. No, buffering streams. Stop it. Do your job right. Alright, let's check. Alright. And let that white finish drying. Well, there's a very good reason for the shrinkflation, but sadly a lot of people aren't ready to hear it. And I feel like it's the type of relation that, or it's the type of reason that Twitch might not like me saying. While we're waiting for these guys to dry, we're going to go ahead and armor highlight our white scars a little bit. And then very soon, I think I'm going to start working on the Bane Blade. Once I get these Aberrants finished up, is when I'm going to prime the Bane Blade and begin to work through it as, oh boy, it's got a couple issues. But first, armor highlighting Marines. Or, I guess this isn't armor highlighting. He said that he believes I'll be able to find a way, which leads me to think that he's like, alright, bitch, do it, no balls. So, once I actually track down some fucking transfer glue, because it seems like every place, like my local game stores are both out of it. And I can't find it at any other, like, I can't find it at, like, Hobby Lobby, I can't find it at Michael's, or any of the other kind of craft storesy areas, or craft stores around me. It's actually a little annoying. So I'm gonna have to probably order some and charge my guy a little extra. Which, that's fine. I warned him that might happen if I couldn't find the transfer glue anywhere. Alright, neato. boy, I just remembered. I'm going to have to do all the purity seals. I hate doing marine armor purity seals. Not because they're tedious or anything, or not because they're particularly difficult, or even that they're tedious. It just feels annoying. I don't know why. And I always get irrationally angry at how poor my camera quality is. There's no way for this. There isn't even a way for me to like focus it in. I forgot to do the gauntlet on this particular man. almost done with some of the line highlighting. With the line highlighting on these Marines. We got this one guy, and then one more left to go. And then we'll let them dry, and we'll go back to our Aberrants. If their paint is dry. And if not, we'll just move to the Patriarch.